Hi everyone, 15th of November, it's 2 minutes to 12 p.m. lunchtime here in Australia. Here's my latest video blog. This video is just going to be a quick one on my four particular crypto assets that I'm just sort of watching at the moment. I think that they do have great potential to pop and potentially do pretty well in the upcoming months. So it's 15th of November 2017. In the next couple of months, these particular entities have got some platforms and they've got some technology coming out, and that's what's happening in this space. Initially, we had a flood of ICOs, different products, different promises, different ideas and concepts. A lot of money was invested in these concepts and ideas, and what's happening is a lot of these platforms and entities that are actually starting to realise these ideas and actually starting to present real use particular platforms and opportunities for people to get involved in the actual product. So what I'm going to do is just run through quickly the four that I'm watching. And the thing is, there's thousands of different assets. There's so many different great ideas coming forward at the moment through blockchain, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So this is not financial advice. This is just four out of a whole heap of amazing opportunities. So planting seeds, go and do your own research as always, but let me know what you think of these four. So the first one is going to be Salt. Now Salt is down on the list here. I saw it at number 34 with a market cap of $190 million, and it's sitting at around about $3.88 US. Now what I like about Salt, and I have been talking about this in my videos, is the crypto assets that present platforms and real use products, especially in the financial sector, I feel is going to do a little bit better than some of the other particular opportunities that are arising. And that's just because the financial markets are so large, and there's a huge opportunity to get market share, especially as a early adopter or a early entry entity into the market. So what Salt's going to be doing is it's going to be lending money basically via holding your blockchain assets as collateral. So they're going to be securing cash loans. Now I think they're talking, and I'm in the Telegram, so I'm keeping my eye on what's happening. Now they're going to be launching their first alpha platform for real use coming up very shortly, and I think they're going to be targeting the United States in the sense of being able to open up these loans. So if you hold and have an existing cryptocurrency portfolio, you'll be able to leverage that for secure cash loans. Now the Salt token is going to be used internally to back these loans, as well as support the membership. So there is going to be a membership protocol, and you can see that on the website you can actually click these particular buttons and read up a little bit more. I'm not going to go into that, but Salt in regards to cash loans for individuals based on your cryptocurrency portfolios is a great concept, and I'm sure this space is going to evolve, and there's going to be lots of different blockchains come forward with similar products and maybe some diversified features. However, I've got my eye on Salt, and like I said, they're in the top 100 and they're doing quite well. So the main thing with this is that they've got their platform coming out, and whenever they've got a real use product, it does really legitimize the brand and the company. So that's number one. Number two is Populist. Now if I go to the down, shouldn't I? It's just under Salt, or just above Salt. It's always the way. I saw it. There it is, number 23. So it's climbing up the ladder. The cryptocurrency market cap just moves quite a lot. And obviously we saw with Bitcoin Cash, it went from 40 billion or 20 billion up to 40 billion, and it's come back and sloshed back to 21 billion. And so Populist sitting at number 23, good number. It's valued at around about $9 US. Got a current market cap at about $370 million. Now, market sector where they're supporting small to medium businesses. If I had access to this 10 years ago when I had a wholesale beverage company, I think I would have really utilised it, because I think anyone that's in small business is always relying on cash flow, and if the cash flow is not always there due to a whole heap of different variables, it can really choke and strangle your movement and capacity within the business. So what Populist is going to be able to do from a small business owner aspect, you're going to be able to sell your invoices to the community or internally through the platform and actually leverage your outstandings to further enhance your cash flow within your business. And as a Populist investor or community holder or a token holder, you'll be able to leverage against these invoices and partake within, and actually I think it's to take ownership of these invoices and make a residual income percentage from a liquidity pool. Now there's a little bit more of the detail has to still yet to come out. They too also have their platform coming out, and I think the promises with Salt and Populist was before Christmas this year, but like anything, these things sometimes take time and sometimes there's delays, so you've got to keep your eye on that, and that's why I always like just keeping my eye on the Telegram groups and things like that, just to get the inside scoops, because it does make a big difference when and getting your timing right in regards to investments and things like that. That's if this is right for you. But Populist, I just think from a real use application point of view is an amazing thing, and this is why I'm so invested in blockchain. Anyone that's come through the last 20 years could have done with so many of these amazing initiatives. So Populist is number 2. Keep your eye on that one. Another one that was brought to my attention in my crypto Telegram group, Crypto Nut Insights, by one of the boys is BitQuince. Yeah, BitQuince. I keep saying BitQuinX, but it's actually BitQuince, and it's down the bottom here. It's still in the top 100, and I think it was about 92. Where do I see it? And it's number 71 at the moment with $85 million market cap, and it's about $1.18 US. So it's been slowly climbing the ladder, just sort of doing its thing, and I wanted to go and have a quick look, and I've just been doing some research. I could do another video on this one. They're existing, and they too have some technology in their platform coming out. I think it's coming out in January or something like that. So with these platforms, we can expect, December and January or the first quarter of 2018, and that's when these things are really going to start to blossom. And some of these ICOs that people have been investing in who have got real use products are going to start to actually start to realise these particular opportunities. So BitQuince is essentially going to be a smart wallet, I suppose, if you want to look at it like that, or a universal wallet to hold your multiple coins in one place. And I'm sure there's going to be a series of other applications, because it can actually show and track your performance of your portfolio. It's got some AI inbuilt into it, and going down there's some videos and things like that, but all I wanted to do is to share with you just planting a seed to maybe go and research BitQuince in regards to smart wallets. But it's going to be a very competitive space, and I think you've got Pillar Project, who seems to be really moving forward. They've been doing a lot of weekly updates on YouTube. It's always great to hear what the team is doing and what vision they have, and I think Pillar is focusing on an ERC20 universal wallet initially, and that's going to then evolve into similar type of scenarios like this BitQuince. And I'm also going to do a video on another crypto asset that's about to have an ICO. It's called Fort Knoxter, which is a complete encrypted private communications portal, and it allows us to do things like inboxing, having groups, calling, you can do telegramming, all that type of stuff. So have it in a private environment, so you can actually create encrypted communities, if that's the sense. So keep your eye out for that video. I'm going to do that very, very shortly. But BitQuince is another one of those ones in the smart wallets. The website looks good. The prototype imagery looks good. It just looks attractive. I mean, you don't go just on the face value of a website, but the big thing for these is just seeing how well their usable products are going to be. And I think like any of these, if you can log into the demos and have a bit of a play yourself, especially when they first come out, you get a feel for it, whether or not it's going to be something for you. Number 4 is, if I go back to the market cap here, this one's a little bit easier to find. Now, I think the big thing with investment is to make sure that you don't get emotionally attached to certain cryptos, and it's hard to do when there's communities involved and when other people really have so much enthusiasm or self-belief in particular cryptos, because sometimes you align with that, sometimes you have faith and trust in others, so you've got to be very mindful of that. This particular space is changing very, very rapidly, and in 2 years' time the whole space could change through regulations. Maybe the technology will change, maybe the demand of the social media, which is us, so the community, is going to assume different demands. But number 4 is going to be EOS. Now, EOS is still in the middle of their token distribution stage. Now, they are sitting at number 15 on the ladder, and they're sitting at $1.73 US at the moment. Now, they do have a token distribution, and that was I think it was going for 340 days, and we're in the day 200 plus. And so there's a long time to go, but the price has been climbing up, and since the 30th of October it's shown some real strength over the last 15 days, and it's moved away from that $1 US mark and it's climbing up towards that $2 US mark, and it's actually on a bit of a surge at the moment. Now, whether or not there's a little bit of arbitrage, playmanship going on between the exchange and the windows, because that's a reality. The EOS is already on the market. And that's what I like about EOS, is that what happens normally with an ICO is there's all this energy, it goes in, people have invested, or maybe they wait for the entity to hit the market. There's normally an explosion, and then there's a money grab, and there's a dump. Sometimes they just go straight down, sometimes there's a peak. Depending on the strength of the ICO or the entity, they may continue on, but there's always a bit of a pullback. Now, what EOS has done, and it's a very clever way of getting mass distribution of their tokens. I think they've got 1 billion tokens to be handed out. They're over 50%. Once you hit over that 50% threshold of sale or ownership of tokens, and if they're being quite closely held, you find that the price will organically start to climb, and that's just basic supply and demand. And that's what I think we're getting a bit of. I can see that happening. And now the other thing with EOS is just the development side of it. Now, anyone that's been in the Telegram groups will know that they've got a testnet. Dawn 2 is already being tested on Ubuntu, Linux, I think it is, and they've also got testnet 2 going to be launched in, I think, the first week of December for testing. And so this is going to enable decentralized applications to start working out what they need to do to start building on EOS, just like they have on Ethereum, and just like they can on Bitcoin once they get smart contracts, and Digibyte's ready to go. There's a whole heap of these platforms. I really like the look of EOS, just for the speed, for the depth of it. There's going to be very similar proof of stake type of scenario, similar to Neo from what I understand, where there's gas. EOS will have its own version of that reward system for holding, and I think in regards to data, memory, and supporting and verifying the platform itself, and these centralized applications also need to have a certain percentage, and I think it's about 15% holdings or something similar to that, to actually verify the particular application and to have it running effectively and smoothly. So there's a great incentive to be holding EOS, not only from the application side of it, but from the token holders' point of view, because you will be able to get a passive return. And I think passive income is the big thing that's really coming forward out of all of these blockchains, is that it's not like the stock market where you're actually holding onto security anymore and just hoping for the profit and losses at the end of year reports, and hoping that there's going to be a new influx of energy into these spaces. We've got community driven branding. We've got proof of stake in these, proof of reward. Well, I think there's proof of brain even coming out with Steem. Steem's obviously based on a reward system. Its reputation, that's what I was looking for. So when you build up these particular elements within your wallet, within the platform itself, whether it's Salt or Populist, there's residual returns and rewards for being a part of that community. And that is what is going to really, really drive these companies forward. I can see that being the catalyst to success. If you don't have these indicators or these elements within the platform, and you're not seeking retention of your community, then there's very, very high possibility that the energy will dilute, especially as this market starts to evolve over the next couple of years. We've already got 1,000 coins on the market right now, and there's 10,000 ICOs in place. What's it going to be like in 2 years' time when there's 100,000 people having a go and having a crack at these? It's really going to come down to the people who got in early, the people who got deliverable products, the people who are seeking to maintain their community retention, good communication, rewards, interaction, evolution, development. And I think people really do like the idea of decentralization, getting away from government, getting away from the banking sector, the middleman, the deception, and I think some of the corrupt infrastructure that's already in place at the moment. So there's so many exciting things about blockchain, and I think there's a lot of resistance. I'm sort of letting that wash off. I have been doing some ICOs of some different brands which are just left afield. I mean, not every ICO is going to be something worth investing in. These are decisions you've got to make. I think it's just an exciting space. So some of my videos may not necessarily appeal to you guys, and I sort of understand that, and that's okay. You can you can let this wash over you, or if it's valid, then that's great. But they're the four that I had chosen. So Salt, Populist, Bitquince, and EOS all have got technology and platforms and usable products coming forward. The only other one I'm going to get maybe have a quick sneak at is just tune into my next video, which is going to be on Fort Knoxter, if you're interested in a private portal where you can do all your inboxing and chats and things like that without worrying about third parties being able to spy on your information. And that is one of the great things about encryption and blockchain. So that's all I've got today. Let me know what you think in the video about these four. Have I got it right? Have I got it wrong? If you're going to downvote my videos, how about you let me know why? What didn't you like? What did you like? And I think that's what this should be about. I think communication is really important. So thanks for watching, guys, and tune in to my next video. Thanks.